everyone, my name is Noami and this is the Arc of Truth. Today, we're going to be talking about the Hanoi Summit, which is about 2 days from now at the recording of this video. So, when I first heard about the idea of Trump meeting with Kim Jong-un, like literally face to face, I admit, I was skeptical and I was completely against it because, well, after all, North Korea has been known to threaten the United States, threaten South Korea, threaten Japan, pretty much being the rogue state that it always has been. But 2018 managed to surprise me, because that's when, in Singapore, Trump and Kim Jong-un managed to go face-to-face with each other, actually sign hands, and just immediately worked out an agreement where the ultimate goal is to build not only an eventual reunified Korean peninsula and the end to the Korean War, like an official end, but also the disarmament of nuclear weapons. Now, that was only a symbolic gesture, a way of reaching out for both nations. And behind the scenes, or well, not really behind the scenes, but still, it was more between close neighbors. South Korea was also doing its part too. Because after some announcements of Donald Trump willing to meet with Kim Jong-un, it was President Moon who also made some headway with it. And since then, it has been pretty quiet on the Korean Peninsula. In fact, I don't recall hearing this kind of silence for a while, to be honest with you. It's definitely very weird. But on bigger issues. Currently, we have the two Koreas who are still just trying to work out amends. South Korea has been helping along with North Korea to get rid of some of the mines of the DMZ, and also managed to turn off their propaganda broadcasters. On North Korea's end, they managed to destroy some of their testing facilities, which is again a very big step. Now, this reminds me of what I read, which I have it here in the book, The 48 Laws of Power, by excuse me, Robert Greene. Now, if you guys are willing to become more involved into politics, I definitely suggest that you read this book, because this is definitely the idea of not only obtaining power, but to become a leader and play the game of politics. Now, here's the law that has been mainly in use throughout this entire event. Law number 2: never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Now, while it's true that South Korea and the United States have a close relationship and they have been working together on this, that I'm not going to deny, it is more on how the President of the United States has been using his own enemy, Kim Jong-un, to his overall advantage. Now, remember what happened before when he actually said North Korea will be met with fire and fury? Well, that was completely strange for North Korea, because this was kind of rhetoric they never expect from the United States. And in fact, that also applies in law number 3, which I will get into in a moment here. So when that happened, there was a bit of an exchange between the United States and North Korea, and eventually, the situation managed to calm down a bit, where there was a little bit of a negotiation between North Korea and the United States to achieve the Singapore Summit. Yeah, there was some back and forth here and there, but that was the way it was. The United States was using North Korea to gain the eventual agreed upon summit. Now, to go even further, and this is part of the Hanoi Summit here, there is definitely an issue. There's still sorry, I can't talk today. While there's still distrust between North Korea and the United States. I mean, after all, Korean War and such. Is nonetheless, each side is trying to work out their own idea of trying to get what they want, what their intentions are in the Hanoi Summit. On the side of Donald Trump and the United States, it is complete disarmament and eventually the end of North Korea. Possibly even try to reunite the entire peninsula. On North Korea's end, or well, mainly Kim Jong-un, is more to remain in a somewhat kind of a powerful position in North Korea. I mean, even if North Korea were to say collapse, he still would want to guarantee that he wouldn't be tried for war crimes by the United Nations and The Hague. Now, Styxhexenhammer actually managed to do a little bit more in-depth of this than I ever could, so I suggest you look at his video, which I will put in the description below. But nonetheless, it still proves that each side is trying to work out their own intentions. In fact, there are also other minor parties who are definitely looking into this summit very closely. I don't need to say much about South Korea. After all, they want to be protected by the United States from threats like North Korea and China. China, of course, wanting to have their own buffer zone away from U.S. influence. Russia, because, well, they kind of have an economic angle to all of this. And Japan, also for security reasons. So each has a stake. Now, how they're going to achieve that, and what the end result may happen after this summit is anyone's guess, because it's completely obvious that that the Korean War will not end overnight. But there is still a progress going on. I mean, after all, we have been getting the destruction of nuclear test sites and the more opened up from the DPRK than ever before. But to see what the extent is of the Hanoi Summit, I would be surprised if Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump managed to make an agreement right on a piece of paper or something that there is like a new goal which both nations have officially agreed upon to work towards. And I'm pretty sure that may be something like the end of the Korean War, but it would be more of an official kind of a stats instead of like, this is our overall goal, this is our proclamation, our resolution, that sort of thing. So I am definitely going to look heavily into this summit. I am wondering how it'll end up, because this is a pretty important moment for all 6 countries. In fact, I think it's going to be important for the entire world, and it's definitely going to be a major issue in the United States, because again, Styxhexenhammer managed to elaborate more on this, but the Democrats have actually come in, have kind of criticized, or well, kinda, definitely criticized Trump's foreign policy, and they're definitely going to be looking into this. If this turns out to be good for Donald Trump, it's not going to look too good on the Democrats' part, to be honest with you. But again, we'll just have to wait until and see how the summit goes. Whatever the case may be, this is definitely going to be a major moment. And it could be the change of politics, not just in the Korean Peninsula, but in the entire Pacific. My name is Noah Mian on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, share this video, like it, subscribe, and, of course, comment down below. I would love to hear from everyone. Bye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.